Indian Standard Methods of Test for Aggregates for Concrete. Indian Standard 2386 Part 3 1963 reaffirmed 2021. Specific gravity is the ratio of the weight of a given volume of aggregate to the weight of an equal volume of water. Determination of specific gravity and water absorption of fine aggregate. Apparatus. Balance. A balance or a scale of capacity not less than 3 kg, readable and accurate to 0.5 grams and such a type as to permit the weighing of the vessels containing the aggregate and water. Oven. A well ventilated oven thermostatically controlled to maintain a temperature of 100 to 110 degrees Celsius. Vessel. A glass vessel referred to later as a pycnometer of about 1 liter capacity having a metal conical screw top with a 6 mm diameter hole at its apex. Dryer. A means of supplying a current of warm air. Tray. A tray of area not less than 325 cm square. Filter papers and funnel. Distilled water. Test procedure. Using the pycnometer, a sample of about 1 kg for 10 mm to 4.75 mm or 500 grams if aggregate finer than 4.75 mm shall be placed in the tray and covered with the distilled water at a temperature of 22 to 32 degrees Celsius. Soon after immersion, air entrapped in or bubbles on the surface of the aggregate shall be removed by gentle agitation with a rod. The sample shall remain immersed for 24 plus or minus half an hour. Section of pycnometer as shown. The water shall then be carefully drained from the sample by decantation through a filter paper, any material retained being returned to the sample. The aggregate including any solid matter retained on the filter paper shall be exposed to a gentle current of warm air to evaporate surface moisture and shall be stirred STIRRED at frequent intervals to ensure uniform drying until no free surface moisture can be seen and the materials just attains a free running condition. Care shall be taken to ensure that this stage is not passed. The saturated and surface dry sample shall be weighed weight A. SST refers saturated surface dry. The aggregate shall then be placed in the pycnometer, which shall be filled with the distilled water. Any trapped air shall be eliminated by rotating the pycnometer on its side, the hole in the apex of the cone being covered with a finger. The pycnometer shall be topped up with the distilled water to remove any froth from the surface and so that the surface of the water in the hole is flat. The pycnometer shall be dried on the outside and weighed as weight B. The content of the pycnometer shall be emptied into the tray, care being taken to ensure that all the aggregate is transferred. The water shall then be carefully drained from the sample by decantation through a filter paper and any material retained returned to the sample. The sample shall be placed in the oven in the tray at a temperature of 100 to 110 degrees Celsius for 24 plus or minus half an hour, during which period it shall be stirred occasionally to facilitate drying. The empty pycnometer shall be refilled with the distilled water to the same level as before, dried on the outside and weighed. After 24 plus or minus half an hour, fine aggregate sample from the oven is taken out and cooled and weighed. The difference in the temperature of the distilled water in the pycnometer during the first and second weighings shall not exceed 2 degrees Celsius. Consider, for example, weight of oven dry sample is equal to 498.2 grams. Saturated surface dry weight is equal to 501 grams. Weight of pycnometer plus water plus sample is equal to 1846.2 grams. Weight of pycnometer plus water 1536.6 grams. Calculations. Specific gravity of dry aggregate, fine aggregate is equal to weight of oven dry sample divided by saturated surface dry weight minus bracket open weight of pycnometer plus water plus sample minus weight of pycnometer plus water bracket complete is equal to 498.2 divided by 501 minus bracket open 1846.2 minus 1536.6 bracket complete. Specific gravity of dry aggregate is equal to 2.60. Calculation. Consider for example, water absorption is equal to SSD weight minus oven dry weight divided by oven dry weight into 100. Water absorption is equal to 0.56.